I think we'll just go ahead and get started, and people will just continue joining as we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Jenna Nilo. I am the Director of Marketing and Outreach with Illinois Digital Educators Alliance. Thank you to everybody who is joining us today. If you tried to get on Wednesday and were unable to, I do apologize. We had some issues with our Zoom that day. So we decided, and Book Creator was gracious enough to do a second one today. So thank you so much. Just a few housekeeping items before we begin. Please go ahead and keep yourself muted throughout the presentation, and also keep your video off. As soon as I'm done talking, I'm going to do the same, and that way Catherine and John will be spotlighted, and they'll be able to do their thing with no interruptions. With that being said, however, we do value interaction with the audience, so please use that chat window to ask questions, to make comments. If you know, if you worked with Book Creator app and you want to give some ideas, please put those in there. John and Catherine do a interactive presentation here, so definitely please participate. And John and Catherine will also be answering questions in that chat window, so please use that for sure. Let's see, at the end of the webinar, I will be putting in that same chat window a link for PDH for today. So if you do attend live, you do get that one Illinois PDH. So please keep an eye out for that link at the end. And I think that's it. I'll be back on at the end, but I do want to give John and Catherine the full time here, and they've got a lot of awesome things to go over. So without further ado, I'm going to quiet myself, and I'm going to turn things over to John and Catherine. Thank you so much for doing this again today, this Encore presentation. We love it. So thanks. Here you go. And I'll stay quiet now. Thanks, guys.
All right. No, thank you again for having us. We really appreciate it, and we're glad that there. I don't know. We're glad that there is demand for these webinars, right? We're glad that you guys are enjoying these. Obviously, the circumstances for a home learning webinar are not the most the best, but at least that we're getting to meet a lot of great teachers, and you guys are giving us lots of great comments and things, and talking about how much you use Book Creator and love it. So. Very good. We appreciate it. So before we get into a welcome, again, please feel free to put questions into the chat window. Either Catherine or I or one of us will answer those as fast as we can. We just came off a webinar with 103 people in it, and it was like lightning bolts. So lots of questions and lots of things. So we're getting used to it, right? We're getting used to answering lots of questions, and we're always here to and happy to help. The other thing I do want to say is, again, thank you for allowing us to have a second webinar. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. Catherine, tell us who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Catherine Capiello, part of the school partnerships team here at Book Creator. You can follow me at bookcreator_cat. We tend to post a lot of different examples of what other schools are doing, so feel free to do that. You can also shoot me an email at catherine@bookcreator.com. Happy to help. I'm a former educator. I actually used to teach in Chicago myself at a high school. I've taught grades though kinder all the way through high school. So definitely can help you incorporate Book Creator into anything that you're already doing. Don't hesitate to reach out. But yeah, I live in Chicago. So to everyone, if you are from Illinois, really happy to have partnered with IDEA to help you guys through this time. And hopefully you can join us on additional webinars to come.
Awesome. And my name is John Smith. I am the iPod teacher on Twitter, and John Smith at bookcreator.com. So if you have questions after this, you can hit us up at either of those places. And I'm the teacher success manager here at Book Creator. So I taught special ed for 12 years. I was a tech integration specialist for, 7. And now my job as a teacher success manager is running webinars, trainings, speaking engagements, conferences, you name it. My job is to help teachers and students get the most out of Book Creator and be able to enjoy that. So I'm a husband and father. I've got 3 wild kids running around the living room upstairs, 9, 6, and my daughter just turned 3 today. So we are celebrating her birthday. I love golf, and I love clean vehicles. So I'm an auto detailer on the side, and I like to wash cars. It's like my therapy. So And my wife's car has, I think, like 4 or 5 spots of dirt on it, so I might go wash it today. So that's how bad I am. All right. So moving forward. Oh, you know what? Before we do get into the I'll flip the page here. But the one thing I do want to say, Catherine's going to talk about the agenda and why we're here. But I do want to say, I saw a couple comments saying we're newbies. You know, we look like Book Creator, but we're kind of newbies and we're not real sure. You know, things like that. That's perfectly okay. But I do want to say that today is not going to be a getting started with Book Creator type of webinar. We're not going to get into every feature. We're not going to take a deep dive into those kinds of things. We're going to talk more about why we're doing this in the time frame that we're in now. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, then we have 2 future webinars set up here with the idea, and I think you'll really enjoy those. So anyway, Catherine, why are we here today?
So overall, we're here. Well, first of all, we're here to make sure anyone that wasn't able to attend gets to have access today. And overall, we're here because we're all thrown into this uncertain time. We are leaning on each other. We're trying to figure out ways to really focus on student creativity, making sure that they still have community. We're able to collaborate with one another, give them real-time feedback, and just learn how you can utilize this in your classroom. Also, how to roll it out to students since they are virtual right now. So hopefully by the end of the session, you'll leave feeling a little bit more confident being able to do so. Our agenda for today, we're going to get, just like John said, make sure to check out our Getting Started webinar. We'll hopefully just get you started very briefly. Then we're going to dive into our resource hub where you can find different ideas. We'll look at our collaboration feature, since right now everyone will receive a 90-day collaboration trial so that you have access to that. We'll show you how, just some ways that we have seen teachers use real-time feedback through Book Creator, how to motivate your students from afar, some ideas that we have had from teachers from other webinars, some ideas that we've created for our team, and that will give you some time to also share your ideas on what you think that you could use Book Creator for remote learning. We'll share with you some templates. Make sure to stick around for that because that is a great time. We have some exciting things to share that were just released, and so then you can actually create a template for your students and share that as well. We'll teach you how to do that. And then we'll end with any overarching questions and answers. But that's
awesome.
about it. Yep,
okay,
let's dive
great.
on in. So this can be a scary time for our students, for parents, for teachers, just really anyone during this time. It's very uncertain. I can only imagine what students are feeling like, but hopefully that we can join together, we can create this, just everyone come together during this time to collaborate and give them a sense of some type of positivity, some type of normal for their everyday lives during this time.
Yep, absolutely. Like Catherine said, we're all going to get through this together, right? All right.
So the first thing you're going to want to do, you don't have to do it right now, but when you're going to get started, you're going to go to bookcreator.com, click on the little sign in tab at the top. John's going to show you, and you're going to want to create your account. It's very simple. You'll just click on the teacher sign in. And then on the teacher sign in, you can sign in with Google, Office, another email, but just make sure that it's associated with your school account. Or you can sign in from Clever if you have that ability to do so from home. Then once you sign in, you're going to want to create a library if you haven't already done so. And you're going to click on the invite code at the top, which John will show you in a little bit as we're going through. That invite code you're going to want to share with students. So then when the students go to sign in, you'll notice right there, you can click on student sign in. They'd go to bookcreator.com, sign in, but then click on student. As a student, they can sign in Google, Microsoft, a QR code if you were to give that to them, or also through Clever. What's going to happen when they log in, they're going to automatically log into Book Creator, but then there's going to be a box that pops up that says, insert your teacher library code. That's the code that they're going to need to actually access their account. What's great, bless you, John. What's great is you don't have to do any student rostering, any of that. They just go in, automatically join through your library, and you have control over what they're putting together on Book Creator.
Very good. And I don't want to spend a huge amount of time on this, but I do want to say that these two buttons are very important. They're very close together, so it's very easy for students and teachers to make mistakes. So if you are a teacher, just please be careful and make sure that you are signed in as the teacher. If you sign in and the first thing it asks you for is a code, then you know that you did not do it the right way. So just log out, click teacher, and then sign in again, and everything will be fine. The same thing with students, though. With students, it's a little different. If they sign in as a student, there is no way to downgrade them unless you go through us directly. And that kind of, it's not a great situation because of privacy rules and things like that. So please just make sure your students sign in as students, and then they're going to be all set. Okay.
Cool. So once you're signed in,
you will get a opportunity for collaboration. And one of the things that we're doing right now is we're giving away collaboration for free for 90 days. It's normally part of our paid plan. So if you go into your library and you create a book, underneath there is a share icon. And if you click that share icon, there's a button here that will say collaborate. And if you click that, now mine says stop because I already have it turned on, but if you click collaborate and start collaboration, it will ask you to start your trial. And that will be 90 days. So again, it's normally part of the paid plans, but now because everybody's working from home and collaboration is more important than maybe it has been in the past, this is going to be free for everybody for 90 days. So just click on that and you'll start your trial. All right, so that's an important thing to do. All right, it's a really great way to get students and teachers working in the same book at the same time. All right, I'm gonna go to play mode here for a second, and I can never figure out where to put my face so that this doesn't the box doesn't cover up my face or the arrows, but here we go. So in the book that you will be receiving at the end, I want to point out our little virus guy here. And so if you click on the virus guy, we've got a great article about guidance for using Book Creator at home. So we've got webinars that you can sign up for in the future. We have a teacher setup instruction set here that Catherine put together and a video that she put together as well. And then we also have, if you scroll down even further, a parent and student setup. Now, parents don't get accounts and they can't sign up for accounts, but students sign up for accounts under the teacher's library. But I love that it's parent-student setup because it gives those parents and students an opportunity to work together on something that they're learning with in school. So I think this is hugely important during this time. But again, step-by-step directions on how to do everything that we just talked about. So definitely recommend taking a look at that document.
yeah.
All right, next page.
So Book Creator can be used for any subject, any grade level. You're going to want to click on the resource hub right there when you get the book, just like John was saying. Sort through there. You can look by grade level, by subject. These are resources provided by teachers with examples. There's also an ambassador area where we have our ambassadors who have written books using Book Creator too. So feel free to look at those. There's a lot of different ideas there that should help you during this time. Just a great resource. And then at the bottom, if you scroll down, there's some other additional ones to look at. For sure, check out the Get Support. If you just search the question that you have, you should get a lot of different support help articles. Another one would be an implementation plan. We have you can look at how to roll this out. There's a template for presenting on Book Creator. Let's say you're on this right now and you're trying to figure out how am I going to roll this out to other staff members. Feel free to use the template. You can copy it. You can steal slides. It's a really easy step-by-step.
Okay, very cool. And excuse me, so at this point, we're gonna take some breaks throughout the presentation. So if you have questions, feel free to ask those. I don't see any questions necessarily just yet. So I think we're gonna keep on trucking. All right, so how can Book Creator help, right? Why are we here today? We feel the Book Creator can help in 3 specific areas. And the first one is collaboration, right? Collaborative work. And in this time specifically, where teachers and students are not in the same place physically, being able to collaborate and work together in a different kind of way is vastly important. So one of the things that I did, and I'm just going to click on this link. All of these links are in the book that we're going to send you. One of the things that I did a while back was I invited teachers from around the world to come together to write a book. I just went out on Twitter and said, I'm looking for one classroom from every state and country in the world to come together to write a book. And we ended up coming out with this really cool book, a poetry book about where people live. And so that was just one example of a collaboration project that I did. You certainly don't need to go worldwide, right, and find classrooms from all over the world to participate, but you can. It could be a teacher next door. It could be a teacher across the state. It could be another teacher from another state. But think about ways that your students can collaborate with others. I do have, they're called the TWIMA projects. I do have a new TWIMA project that has started. It is TWIMA 9, actually. We're on our 9th version of this global writing project. And this one is all about traditions. And so basically, I just want classes and parents and students and families and things like that to talk about the traditions that they have and how, and just find a really creative way to put that into Book Creator. And so all the information you need is here if you're interested in something like that. The next thing that Catherine and I are going to do is we're going to show you what collaboration actually looks like inside Book Creator. So let me get back to the right page here.
Same here. I think we're on page 15, right? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, page 15. As you can see at the bottom, you can see that both Catherine and I, our names and our icons are down there at the bottom. So you can see that there are 2 of us on the page. And as Catherine, I can see she's doing her work there. As she's doing work, I can add different elements to the page too. So maybe I could add a shape or some comic features or some multimedia here, right? Maybe I'll go to the pen tool and I'll choose auto draw and I'll draw a bike here, which is not really good looking yet, but with auto draw at the top, it's trying to figure out what I'm drawing, and I say, oh, it's this bike, and it fixes it, and now I have a really cool bike. All right, and so that is super awesome. So I can move that around. Maybe I'll go in here and change some colors, fill bucket, and I can fill in my bike, and I just hit done. And so now I've got this magic ink bike that's in here. That's really cool. So we're working on the same page together. All right, now, a couple things that I want you to be aware of. This is Google-like, but it is not Google. So we do not have a revision history right now. So any student that has access to your library will have access to edit this book if you turn on collaboration. So just be cautious. Some teachers are okay with that. Some teachers are a little scared. If you're a little scared, that's okay. You just need to let every kid make their own book, and then you can combine them at the end. But if you do like the fact that you can do collaboration, then here you go. This is a great way to do it. All right, so that's what our real-time collaboration looks like. All right, and usually that's when questions start to pop up. And so
we had one about an engineering tech notebook where they can create their own book. Yes, great idea. We're going to show you some things if you wanted to create a template and they create their own. We'll show you at the end, and then we'll share those ideas out.
Absolutely. So I love the idea of making books with every kid, having their own notebooks or digital learning documents. I always tease people because I say that Book Creator is the worst thing about our company is our name. Because usually when you say books, that's when the math and science teachers are like, peace out, we don't do books, right? That's for ELA. But I love the fact that you can think of different ways to use it. So like as an engineering notebook, right? So they can document their learning as a digital portfolio throughout the process. Excellent. The second thing that we want to talk about Book Creator and why we think it's important during this time is communication. Teachers, we have to communicate with our parents and our students. Parents have to communicate with the kids. Kids have to communicate with the parents, and all of them have to communicate back with the teachers. That's the only way that this whole remote learning thing is going to work, right, for everybody. And so communication is hugely important. So we have some tips here for communication. But one of the things that we wanted to show you here is how communication might look in a classroom situation where we're not actually physically in the classroom. So one of the things that a question that I get all the time is, how do I comment on a student's piece of work, right? So again, going back to the whole Google idea, right? How do I comment on a student piece of work? And the short answer is we don't have a commenting feature in Book Creator yet, but teachers are crafty, right? And teachers are able to make comments in different ways. And so as you can see, Catherine here, she made a Bitmoji, and she was able to put a Bitmoji in. And I'm telling you right now, if you can grade kids with Bitmojis, they'll pay attention, right? They will like that. They'll have fun with it. Another way that I've seen teachers comment on work is by adding a shape to the page. So on the page, we've got the student work, but here's my shape. So then I'll just type something in the shape like great work, double check the punctuation, whoops, I can't even spell punctuation in paragraph 3, right? Paragraph 3. All right, and so then I'll just take that and slide that little text box off to the side and just leave it there. So when a student then comes into their paper, they can see the work that they've done, and they can see the comments that we as teachers are leaving them. Another really cool option is under the media tab, being able to use the record button. So if I click record, hit start, gives you a little countdown, get out that last burp. Hey, Samantha, great job on that writing assignment today. I think it's fantastic. As a matter of fact, I think it's so good, I can't wait to see the sequel. So hit stop, use the recording, and there's the recording button. So then they can hit play and listen to the feedback. Same thing with video. So if you go to plus button, media, and then camera, and choose video, you can record a video for your students as a way to provide feedback. So I think there's really some cool options there for providing feedback and communication. We just had a school the other day talk to us about how they were going to make a book creator book with all of their staff members inside of it. And the staff members were going to have videos that they were going to post out there to their students. I think that would be fantastic. So any way that we can communicate with students and parents at this time is going to help us in the long run. So definitely think about that as you're looking and exploring Book Creator, and think about ways that you can communicate with those parents and students.
Hey, John, real quick, do you mind showing how we had a question about when you place a picture on the page to go front or back? Do you mind just showing them how they can change that if, let's say, you had 2 different pictures?
Yep, absolutely. So, and it works. It will work with any object really. So if I have a picture here, or in this case, I have the shape. All right, and I want to put this. It's already on the front, but let's say that it's not. I'll go to the directions here in a second. So I've got my shape and I have that audio button, and I want that audio button to be on top, right, of that shape. So I click the shape, I go to the inspector button, and then down toward the bottom, there's a button that says move to front or back. And so I just click whichever one it is. I always forget which one is which. So I just click them both until it does what I want it to do. And now I've got my audio button that is on top. So the same thing with pictures. You just click the picture, click the inspector button, and then click move to front or back, and it will be where you want it to be. It's a great question. All right,
Cool.
And moving on. All right, so I think we got those questions. The third piece that I think is very, very important when it comes to specifically remote learning, I think it's important in school anyway, but specifically with remote learning, is motivation. I work at home, out of my basement, I look outside, it's sunny. I look at my watch, it's 56 degrees outside, and that usually means golf, right? Or car washing. And so when it's beautiful like that, and I'm sitting here trying to do work, motivation is important. And the same thing is going to be true with your students, right? Your students have to be motivated to keep doing the work. And so one of the things that I think is motivating is the fact that Book Creator is super, super easy, right? It's very easy to use. Any kid from kindergarten on up is going to be able to figure this out with very little instruction. They're just going to have some fun with it, and they're going to click buttons and they'll learn things. But again, motivation is important. And so I'm going to share just a brief story about motivation. And it's my story. And this book, again, is linked inside the book. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but I just want to talk a little bit about how I saw motivation in my students when we started introducing Book Creator. So my story started with these kids right here. And don't let them fool you. The smiling, happy-looking kids, that's nothing like what my class looked like, right? My kids were not happy. They were angry, upset all the time. They hated me. It wasn't good, right? Matter of fact, these aren't my kids. These are some Google kids. I don't know whose kids these are. But my kids had a big problem. And the problem was they just didn't care, right? They didn't care about me. They didn't care about school. They didn't care about anything. But they really didn't care about writing. And so I was trying to figure out how to help them. I started realizing that I didn't even really like writing as an adult. So I figured if I could help myself, maybe I could help them. So I started thinking about this, and I did things that I thought were cool. I gave them like normal writing prompts. That didn't work, so I was pulling my hair out. I gave them disgusting writing prompts, and that didn't work, right? It just made the kids sick. I gave them prompts about food because I thought that would work, and they hated those too. So I felt kind of like this guy here, right? I felt completely knocked out. And so eventually I tried a teacher store. That didn't work. I tried, everything. But then I realized that there were 3 reasons why I felt students didn't like school. One was that they do all this work and then they turn it into you, right? The audience of one. A lot of these kids have a global following from a very early age. I mean, most of them have 10,000 YouTube followers before they eat breakfast. And then they come to school and they turn their work into you, right? The single solitary teacher. And that's not okay for them. The other thing is that these kids, even today, are still being told that they're not allowed to talk to each other, or collaborate, or work together. And then the third piece is these kids graduate school and they don't have anything that they've left behind that's going to benefit anybody else, right? Maybe the gum under the desk, but that's it. There's no legacy, right? There's no work that's benefiting other students. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I thought about these ideas for a while, and eventually I found out about Book Creator, and that's when things changed for me. And I took this idea back to my students and I said, hey guys, guess what? Today we're going to write a book and we're going to publish it for the whole world to see. And that alone changed their motivation, because somebody other than me, their boring, old, nasty teacher, was excited about what they had to write. And that, it was unbelievable. So motivation is big. I think Book Creator is going to help your students. They're, like I said, they're going to be excited about it. They're really going to enjoy it. So a couple thoughts and ideas from our team.
Yeah, a few of them here. We thought graphic novels would be a great idea with comics. You've already worked on something in the classroom. Now have the students take an extension project to that and now create a comic book version or a graphic novel. Another thing could be daily check-ins for social emotional learning. How are they doing every single day? We've been seeing a lot of schools creating remote learning books. So like their daily journal, COVID-19 edition, so forth. We'll show you some examples in a second. Just review too. There's a lot of skills that they've already learned. Now let's take them to the next level and review. And then John has some examples too.
And one of the things that I really, I think would be a really cool idea is now that companies like Zoom and Google and Skype, there's free stuff going on all over the place, right? In terms of like video conferencing. I think what would be really cool is if students who made their own books can then share those books with the class. And so now we have like an author hour. So everybody gets together on a Hangout or a Zoom or something like that. And then we share our books and we read our books with the other students. I think that would be really, really cool. I don't know how to make that all work just quite yet, but I have that thought and I think it'd be great. I think somebody out there will be able to figure that out perfectly. And then in terms of templates, so Catherine mentioned templates. So we have a template library that we created, and we will, let me find it there, I've got so many libraries. We will invite you to join this template library. That information will be coming in a follow-up email later today. But what's really cool about the templates is, as a teacher, I just create a book, and a book could be a single page like this one here. And what happens is when students join your library, here's where you click the invite code, that little blue button, get that code, they can join your library, and once they're in the library, they can either click new book or they see this book that you've written. And then underneath the book, there's a little icon. You click on the 3 books icon and say copy book. And now the student makes an exact copy of your template that they can edit. They can't edit yours, but they can edit their own copy. And so I love this template. So this is just one a getting started template that I use every time I do a workshop or training or something like that. Easy to fill out. So make a copy, click inside, and start making your page. And then we also have a remote learning template that I put together. And I'm not particularly excited about this one. I don't think it's great, but it's definitely something to give you an idea to start with, right? You got a table of contents, like day 1, where did things start? Put a photo in here, write some text to let me know about how your day is going, right? How this whole remote learning thing is happening. And then Catherine made one that I like, and I do like. It's a document of history, right? So you can put in the date here. You can put your own name in there. And as you go through this, this journal, you can add emojis and text and photos telling you about how things are going. I particularly like this page here, in the news today, right? 3 things that I can control, 3 things I can't control. I really like this. So these are some templates that we have. And if once you join this library as well, you can put your own templates in there. So let's say that you come up with something you're really proud of. Make a copy of it, put it in our library so that we have an example of templates. Another one that we just came out with is this big book creator activity book, which is awesome. I absolutely love this book. It reminds me of road trips when I was a kid. You go on a road trip, stop at a gas station, get an activity book. So there are tons of activities in here that your students can complete. So again, they join your library, they copy your book, and then they put it into their library and they can start doing these activities. So I really think this is a great book. I'm super excited about that. A lot of people are really excited about it. So highly recommend that. All right. So let me go back here to our library. So that's templates. So very easy to, I lost my library. There we are.
No, you're good.
There's so many things going on here. All right. Very easy to make and lots of fun to do. All right. So then we go back here. And oh, I stole your thunder again, Catherine.
Oh my gosh, you're fine. Yeah, just click on when you go in there. If you're thinking, how do I get that? Boom, just click on that book. Dive right in. Put it in your library. All the directions are right there. And then right down there, there's that code to get into our template library.
Awesome. All right. And so we did already show you a little bit about how those templates make. So Catherine, do we have any outstanding questions?
No, we're good.
Okay, perfect. This is a good group, a quiet group. So, I forgot to make a new page, but what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how to make a new page.
I can add a page. That's fine.
All right.
Or
cool.
you can, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Here, I'll show you. So from Pages view, for example, let's say we wanted to copy a page. This is a really cool, a cool tip here. I click the 3 buttons, and once I click those 3 buttons, I just say copy page. And so it makes an exact copy of that page. So when I click on it here, I can start deleting some of these things off this page, and Catherine can join and she can start deleting things off the page as well. But this is my favorite time of the webinar, and this is where we ask you for your ideas. So in the chat window, if you could, tell us some of your ideas about how you see using Book Creator in a remote learning situation, or even just using Book Creator in general. What are some of your thoughts and ideas? And we're gonna put them on a page here so that you can so that we can keep those and document those.
You could just stick those in there. Oh, perfect.
Tammy, the engineering notebook. Yes, absolutely. I'm very excited about that. And you know what, Tammy, I don't know what grade level you're talking about and exactly what types of content you're putting in there. But the first thing when you said engineering notebook, the first thing that popped in my mind was like the Rube Goldberg stuff. And it would be really cool to have kids, you know, make some kind of contraptions and then write about it. So they have a video of them performing something with their contraption, and then a written explanation about why they decided to do what they did. I think it'd be really cool. Yes, creative writing books, absolutely. A happy birthday book where each student contributes a page for a child's birthday. I think that is fantastic. One of the greatest things when I was in school was birthday day, right? Because the teacher gave me a pencil. I got to be the line leader. I mean, it was fantastic. But now we're not in school. So those kids who are having birthdays right now, my daughter, for example, she has her birthday today. We can't invite anybody over for a party, right? So I think having a birthday book would be absolutely fantastic. I love that idea. 7th and 8th grade engineering for Tammy. Be able to show my students how to use Book Creator as we're viewing it. How would I be able to show my students how to use Book Creator as we're viewing it? So right now, I guess the easiest way would be to do a video conference like what we're doing here right now, where you could share your screen and say, here's how to use Book Creator. Some of our resources, though, Catherine did put together a nice little video about how to use Book Creator as a student. So that would be, I think those would be helpful as well. And we also have lots of videos on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and search Book Creator, you can see videos that I think are perfectly fine for showing students. Excuse me, science project logs, absolutely. Comic strips for sure, graphic novels, right? How to solve a math problem in a graphic novel, I think would be really cool. Paper airplanes, Tammy says, making paper airplanes and innovating them so that they fly farther. Oh, I love it. I think that's a great book.
Right.
And then you could actually, you could do a video of them doing step-by-step on how to fold it, right? Like how to fold it, or use the drawing feature in Book Creator to draw a paper template that has the fold lines in it. I think that'd be really cool. Graphic novel read alouds. Yep. Reading a chapter. Maybe students could do an extension. Yep. Absolutely. Reading response journals. Love it. The library code is generated for each library, not for each book. I'll answer that question as we're going along. How-to books are also fun. Absolutely. One of the ones that we saw the other day was a recipe book, right? Like how to make recipes. Senior year kindergarten graduation bio on students, something great for graduates of 2020. Absolutely love it. Who knows what graduation is going to look like this year, right? Everything's, I mean, who knows? It's all up in the air. So being able to create a graduation book, I think would be fantastic. I've actually worked with a few schools who are using Book Creator to create online yearbooks because they're tired of paying thousands of dollars for yearbook companies. So they're going to do an online yearbook. So I think that's great advice to students from teachers as they graduate. There's so many possibilities. And I absolutely love all of the ideas that you guys have put into the chat window. So great job there. As I click the next page, we do have some other examples that people have put. So again, how-to books. Somebody said, my favorite story, like the Three Little Pigs, somebody wrote a book from the viewpoint of the wolf, right, instead of the pigs. So you could do alternate story versions using Book Creator, visual vocabularies, reading buddies, daily journals, how-to books again, podcasting even. So a lot of Google Lit trips, great stuff that you can do using Book Creator. So fantastic ideas. I kind of cheated. I put this in ahead of time, but I figured you'd have really awesome ideas, and you did. Boom, my mind is exploding with fantastic stuff that you guys came up with. So thank you. And I want you to think about continuing to share those ideas, right? You might think your idea is silly, or it's just an extension book. It's nothing that big. But always, it's like that phrase, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure. You might not think it's special, but when you share it out there and you share that great idea, other people might grab onto that and say, you know what? I love it. I'm going to use that idea. So don't forget, join our template library. The code is there again. Feel free to share your template. Shout out on Twitter the great ideas that you're coming up with as you're using Book Creator with your students. I think that would be fantastic too. All right, so now it brings us to our live question and answer session. So what do we got?
Sorry about the webinar freezing or anything. Don't worry, you will receive ideas. Going to email this out after with the recording, so you can always go back. The template code is right in the book. It's also going to be emailed out to you right after this through Idea too, so you'll get all that information.
Yes, and then I see Jen's question, is there a way for you to share a finished book with parents and families? Absolutely. So if I go back out and click the My Books button, here is our book. Underneath, there's a share icon, and if I click the share icon, there's an option here that says publish. Now, mine is already published, so I'm going to stop publishing it here for a second. So when you click that share icon, the first one says publish. So I click publish, and then the next button says publish book. I make sure the title and the author are okay, and then I publish the book again, and now that book is online, and that's it. Here's the link, this blue line that says copy link. I copy that link and I paste it into Seesaw, an email, a newsletter, a website, remind text, whatever. You paste that link in there, and then anybody that has the link will then click on the book, and this is what it will look like. It will look like this on their device, and they can just click or swipe through the pages, just like we have been doing today, and that's it. So very simple, easy way to share those books with your families and community members and administrators and whoever else is interested in seeing those books.
So to enter the code, you're going to go to, if you clicked on My Books and went back to your main area right there, if you click on there, scroll all the way down, and there's, or you might, since you don't have as many libraries as us, you won't, but you just click on Join a Library, and then you're going to type in the code right there.
Very easy to do. Once you get a hang of how the libraries and the teacher dashboard navigation looks, then it'll be very easy for you to figure out. You'll do it lickety split right from here on out. It won't be that difficult. All right. And
there's another one from Jenny.
Can students share a book and edit a page? So the only real way that editing a page can happen is, especially if it's not like the owner's book, is students making a copy of it and then editing their own or turning on that collaboration. And if you turn on that collaboration, then anybody can edit that book. Anybody that has access to the library can edit the book. We are working on a feature, and it's coming soon, where you will be able to decide which students can edit which books. That's not there yet, but it is coming soon.
How many libraries will we have access to? On the free version, you have access to one library. We have 2 other versions too that you could use, and you can check those out on the pricing page too.
Yeah. And Lori says she currently has 3 libraries. How can I add more? So at that point, Lori, at the top right where your face is in your account, so mine's up here. If I click on that, there will be a button that says upgrade. So if you're interested in upgrading, you can certainly do that there. The other thing you can do is you can archive some of your libraries. So for example, if you have a library here that you don't use anymore, you just click the 3 books and say archive library. All of those books that are in that library then are archived as well, and then you can free up space to make a new library. All right, well, at that point, I don't see a whole lot of other questions. We'll stick around here to answer more if you do have questions, but I want to thank you personally for being here. I really appreciate it. For our follow-up, right, our second IDEO webinar. I'm very excited. We had a great number of people turn out today. Again, I'm John Smith, Teacher Success Manager at the iPod Teacher on Twitter, and johnsmith@bookcreator.com. And that's Catherine, and she is busy answering questions. That's right. She's a school partnership member, team member, bookcreator_cat, and Catherine@bookcreator.com. So please feel free to send us any questions that you may have. And again, once we're done here and the video is done processing, I'll get that to Catherine. We'll get that out to IDEA. We'll get that out to you at some point today, and you'll have all the information we talked about along with this book, the video, the library codes, anything you need to get started, you will have. So I will flip this switch here to this page, and then we will continue answering questions here for a few minutes after we close up here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. This was another great one. So we're looking forward to the upcoming ones. We'll look at that in a second. I just did want to invite everybody. We have webinars and virtual office hours basically going on all the time now. One of our webinars next week, and quite honestly, we added 2 after this presentation was put together. So look on our website at ideaillinois.org/calendars. And you will be able to see all of the events coming up. But one in particular for next week is next Wednesday is with a new partner, Tech Girls, and it's how educators can inspire girls to pursue technology. So definitely check that one out. On Tuesday, we are with, I believe it is Everfi. And Thursday, I think, is Newzella. I think that's next week's schedule, but definitely check out our website and sign up for any of those webinars. For live attendance, you do always get 1 PDH for that. And I'll put today's in here in just a second. And then the following week, is it the following week? I think it's the following week. I've lost all track of time. We are also running 2 more webinars with Book Creator. So on Wednesday, we are going to have a basically getting into all the nooks and crannies of how to work the Book Creator app. So at noon that day, they're going to show us how to do all those great things. And then following that up on Thursday, the next day, so the following day, Thursday, we're going to do, it's 1 book, 1 hour, the COVID-19 edition, and what it is you're going to basically get a chance to get down and dirty with the app. So they're going to give us challenges. We're going to get in there and play with it and try all the things that we learned the day before. So that should definitely be an awesome one as well. And then, like I said, we also do have all of our virtual office hours that we're running right now. So if you're looking for inspiration, if you have questions, if you just want to chat with other people in your PLN and see what everybody else is currently doing, it's a great opportunity to do that. So again, check out our office hours and see when those are. We run them different times each day, so definitely look at that. So I am putting in here right now the link for your PDHs. So if you are interested in that, I'll make it clickable. Hold on, sorry. I should have done that. Now it's clickable. So definitely, if you're looking for PDHs, click that link, fill out the information, and we'll get you that 1 PDH for today's live attendance. Other than that, if anybody has any other questions, please put those in the chat window. John, Catherine, thank you so much again This was awesome as well, and we will be looking forward to the two, I guess, Wednesday, Thursday, the 15th, 16th, and getting into the app. So I think that'll be very, very fun.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
And again, I see a lot of thank yous and great comments. Thank you everybody for being here. We'll stick around for 2 more minutes or so. So if you are still having questions, let us know. If not, you're free to go unless you want to stay in here and look at us. That's up to you. I wouldn't, not for me at least. I wouldn't look at myself that much longer, but hey, that's up to you. So if not, like I said, you can leave and have a great day. Be safe out there. But if you have questions, we'll stick around for a couple more minutes.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.